In this video, I'm going to show you how to create ebooks using ChatGPT or any other AI tool. Apart from ChatGPT, there are other AI tools you can use to create your ebook. But let me say this at this point because it's very important. When it has to do with creating of ebooks, the prompt you write matters a lot. And this is where most people are not getting it right. If you want to generate quality content, then you must engage quality prompt. You must issue a quality prompt. Without a quality prompt, you can never get a quality content. So this is worthy of note. Take note of this. You need a quality prompt to generate a quality content for your book. Okay? So why is it important to know how to create a book? Because aside the fact that you are going to be publishing this book on self-publishing platforms like Amazon KDP, Kobo Writing Life, or any other self-publishing platform, if you know how to create ebook, you can also render that service to other people and get paid for it. There are many people looking out for ebook creators, looking out for ghostwriters. So if you really understand how to create ebooks like this, you can also do it for them. You can do it for international companies and get paid for it. Okay? So I'm going to walk you through the process from start to finish. And the prompts I'll be using in this tutorial, I'll leave them in the description box. So do well to check the description box, and you are free to copy the prompts and use whenever you deem fit. Okay, so for the purpose of this training, for the purpose of this tutorial, we are going to just use any random topic, because as you know, there are several topics you can write on. It can be a self-help book, it can be a travel guide, it can be a religious book, it can be a fiction book for children, adult fiction book, it can be anything, it can be an academic book or whatever. Okay, so if you want to create your book, I'm going to be using a title, just any random title, let's say financial management. Okay, so what you want to do is to issue this prompt. I'm going to use this. Okay, so it says, as a professional financial analyst, write me a 15-chapter outline for a book titled Financial Management. Okay, like I said earlier, I'm going to drop all the prompts in the description box. So this is not the only prompt you can use, but just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm using financial management. All right, so all I need to do is copy this, then I head straight to ChatGPT. And then I'll paste it here. As a professional financial analyst, write me a 15-chapter outline for a book titled Financial Management. It must not be 15 chapters. Yours may be 10, 20, as the case may be. Okay? So let's see what is going to happen here. So he's generating the outline. So you need an outline. You need an outline, a well-structured outline. Without an outline, you don't have a direction. So the outline of the book gives you direction. The outline of the book will give you direction on what to do and how to go about it. So once you have your outline, the book is as good as finished. Okay? Because every other thing we are going to be doing from this moment, we are going to be doing it from this outline. We are going to use this outline to create every chapter of this book. Okay, so ChatGPT is done generating the outline. So all you need to do is to copy it. I can copy it here. Click here, copy. Then get back to Google Docs. This is Google Docs. Okay, new document file. I'm going to place it here. I'm going to paste it here. So now this is your outline. You can just give it a title here. Click here, give it a title. I can just call this financial. Let me just call it financial management. Let me just call it financial management outline. Anything, it can be anything. Financial management outline. Okay, let me just save it. All right, so we are done with the outline. Okay, so this is the outline. So every other thing you are going to be doing going forward will be based on this outline. Okay, now you want to get the introductory part of this book or the description part of this book, you are still going to use this. I'm going to show you how. Remember, we've already copied this outline. Okay, now you go to ChatGPT. Go to ChatGPT, paste it. Okay, you paste it. Then the next thing you want to do, because I want to generate the introduction for this book. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to now copy this prompt consistent with the outline above. Write me an introduction for a book titled Financial Management. It depends on what you are writing. This one is Financial Management. So I'm going to copy it. So I'll paste it here, consistent with the outline above. So this is the outline. The outline is above with, okay, write me, you can say write me or write an introduction. Consistent with the outline above, write an introduction for a book titled Financial Management. So you are telling ChatGPT in line with that outline to generate the introductory part of the book. So that's what you have done. So I will click, so it will generate the introduction for the book because the book must have an introduction. Okay, let's just wait for it to generate the introduction. Okay, it's still generating. I'll have to wait. So once it's done, we're going to copy it just the same way we did with the outline. Head back to Google Docs and paste it there. Okay, then we are going to also generate the description for this particular book. Okay, so I'm going to open it. Okay, so once I open it, this is the introductory part of the book. Okay, so I'm going to copy it. Let me copy it from here. You can just say, okay, let me copy it from here. Copy. So once I copy it, I will get back to Google Docs, new document file, then I'll place it here. Okay. So, but let me also say something at this point. Whenever you are creating ebook with ChatGPT or any other AI tool, please do well to read through. You don't want to create a book, publish it, or possibly create it for somebody, send it to the person, and then get paid for it where you have not gone through the manuscript. So before you publish your book, or probably you are working as a ghostwriter, you are creating a book for somebody or a company, do well to read through. In the course of reading it, you may find some places where you need to paraphrase or delete or make it or put it in another way. So don't just copy and paste. Read through it and give it some touch of originality. Okay? So take note of this. So you don't just go to ChatGPT, copy, paste, no editing. You have to read through every line by line, until the very end. So this is the introduction. All right. So you take out time to read it. I'm not going to read it, but this is just a tutorial. So you must take out time to read your own. So read through the introduction. Okay. Read through the introduction and then make sure everything is perfectly in order. So let's say I want to use this introduction. Now let me also point out something. If I'm using this introduction, there are certain things I have to take away, but then I will do this while editing this book. Okay. If I get to this point now, this introduction, of course I have to remove this asterisk. I have to remove it. Okay. So the same thing with this, I have to remove it. So you have to read through your manuscript and remove unwanted elements there. I hope you understand what I mean by now. So I will read through this introduction to the very end. Okay. So if I don't want this, for instance, I may not need this conclusion. Okay. I will have to delete this part. It depends on the kind of introduction you want anyway. Okay. So let's assume I'm done. Let's assume I'm done now. All you need to do is that you go back to ChatGPT to get. So let me just give this a title. Let me just call it Financial Management, or let me just call it Introduction to Financial Management. Introduction to Financial Management. It could be anything. All right. Okay. All right. So the next thing you want to do now is to generate the description. The description, because you are going to, if you are publishing this book on Amazon KDP, for instance, of course, you know there's a description box where you need to input the description of the book. So I'm going to copy this prompt for the for the description. I'm going to copy it. Then I'm heading straight back to my ChatGPT. So when I get to ChatGPT, I'm going to, okay, I'll place it here. Consistent with the outline above, write me. But as you can see, the outline is not here. So I will have to go back and get that outline. Where's the outline? I'll get the outline. Okay, this is the outline. This is the outline. So I will copy the outline, select all, copy. I'll copy the outline. Okay. So I'm now telling ChatGPT, consistent with the outline above. Of course, the outline is here now. Consistent with the outline above. Write me a description for a book titled Financial Management. Okay, I will wait for the description. Okay, he's writing the description. Like I said earlier, do well to read through this description. Do well to read through. Don't just copy it like this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy it, head back to my Google Docs, click here, new docs file, then I'll paste it here. So now I have the outline of this book, I have the introduction, I have the description. So I will delete this. I don't need this. Remember to delete the things that are not needed. Okay. So I'm still going to export all of this into the book. So I just want to make sure that my outline is ready, the description is ready, the introduction is ready, so that when I start with the book proper, working on the book chapter 1 down to the very last chapter, I will only need to come here, copy it, and place it where needed. Okay, so let's say this is the description. I can now change this title again and call it financial, let me just call it Financial Management Description. Let me just give it that title. Financial Management Description. Okay. So I have the introduction, I have the description, I have the outline. Okay. So I'm going to get back to the outline. So this is the outline. Remember, this is the outline. So, like I said, your own must not be chapter 1 to 15, but this one is chapter 1 to 15. Okay, so what do you now do to generate the content for each chapter of the book? You have chapter 1, which says Introduction to Financial Management, Definition and Scope of Financial Management, Importance in Business and Personal Finance, Core Principles of Finance. So the question is, how do I get the content for this chapter? So all I need to do is to copy this just from here to this place. Okay, copy. Okay, so once I copy it, then I will go back to ChatGPT. I'll paste it there. Follow me step by step. I'll paste it here. Principles of, okay, this is principles of finance. I'll paste it there, but that's not the only thing I'm going to do. I'm going to come here and I will now use this prompt. I will now copy this prompt that says, consistent with the outline above, as a professional financial analyst, write me chapter 1 of the book. So you're telling ChatGPT to use the outline for chapter 1 only, not the whole chapter now. Not the whole chapter. You are telling ChatGPT to use the outline for chapter 1 to create the content for chapter 1. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. I'll come to ChatGPT. I'll place it at the top. Okay, sorry. Let me cut. It's not supposed to be here. Let me cut. Okay, this is chapter 1. Okay, so I'm going to bring it below. So I'm now saying, consistent with the outline above, as a professional financial analyst, write me chapter 1 of the book titled Financial Management. So it's going to use this outline for chapter 1 to now generate the content for chapter 1. I hope you're following. So this is a step-by-step guide. Every prompt is important. So do well to check the description box and get all the prompts there. So it's now creating chapter 1 of the book. I'm going to wait. So the same process for chapter 2, for chapter 3, for chapter 4, depending on how many chapters you want your book to have. You are still going to use this method. Okay, consistent with the outline above, as a professional financial analyst, write me chapter 2. When I want to write chapter 2, that's what I'm going to do. We get to chapter 3, I copy the outline for chapter 3, I now issue the same prompt. Okay, so let me see. So this is chapter 1. It says Introduction to Financial Management, Definition and Scope of Financial Management. So this is now the chapter 1. Okay. Now let me also say something at this point. If after generating content for any chapter of your book, and you discover that perhaps the content is not enough, you want more. Let's say after reading through this, you want more information on this chapter 1. Maybe it's not enough. There is a way to go about it. Okay, you can go back and paraphrase. Let me use this and show you example. Now I said, consistent with the outline above, as a professional financial analyst, write me chapter 1 of the book titled Financial Management. Now, if after generating your content with this outline and you discover that maybe the content is not enough, you need more, you can come back, paraphrase this particular prompt. Now, see another way you can do it. You can say, consistent with the outline above, as a professional financial analyst, you can add, write me chapter 1 of the book titled Financial Management. Then you can also add 120,000 words. It depends. 10,000 words, 12,000 words. It depends on the one you want. So you can issue a prompt like this, consistent with the outline above, comma, in 10,000 words or in 20,000 words or in 15,000 words. Let me put it this way. Consistent with the outline above, in 10,000 words, in 10,000 words, comma, as a professional financial analyst, write me chapter 1 of the book. So if after, there is a way ChatGPT works. If you ask ChatGPT to generate a content of 10,000 words, chances are excellent that you are not going to get exactly 10,000 words. That's the way ChatGPT works. So if, for instance, you want 10,000 words, you may have to increase by asking ChatGPT to generate 15,000 words or even 18, so that at the end of the day you will get exactly what you are looking for. Okay? So, but then if the content is okay for you in terms of the volume, like we did before, there's no need for this. So the only time you can ask ChatGPT and be more specific by including in 10,000 words, in 12,000 words, in 15,000 words is whenever you discover that the content is not enough for you, you want more, then you can now use this second prompt. Okay? So, but let's just assume that you are okay with the volume. Okay? Let's just assume that's the case here. So all you need to do is to copy. Okay? Once you copy it, you go back to your Google Docs, new document. Now you paste it here. Okay? So once you paste it here, what you want to do now is you can give this a title, or on the other way, you may want to use this strategy, which I normally use personally, So I will come to this plus button here, click on this plus button, click page, this is page break, click page break. Okay, click page break so that you don't keep opening other pages for subsequent chapters. So click page break so that chapter 2 will be here. But this is not where you are going to do the formatting proper. So this is just to build content for each chapter of your book. So I may give it a title. If you want to give it a title, the reason for giving it a title is that once you get to your Google Docs, you don't start looking for whatever it is you are looking for. By the title, you can easily get what you are looking for. So this is one of the ways to not waste your time. So let me just say financial management chapters. Anything. Financial management chapters. Let me just leave it like this. Okay. So what do you want to do next? This is only chapter 1. You're still going to format it and do away with some of these things that you don't necessarily need. Something like this, hash, you're going to remove it. Something like this, you remove it, while formatting the book. So the next thing I want to do now is that I will go to the outline. I'll get back to the outline. This is the outline. I will copy the outline for chapter 2 only, the same way you did with chapter 1. Okay, I will copy it chapter 2 only. Okay, I'll copy chapter 2 only. Then let me place it here. Okay, so I'll put it here, and then where is their prompt? I'm still going to use this consistent with the outline above. Copy it. We've used this prompt before, so I'm going to paste it here. So consistent with the outline above, as a professional financial, write me chapter 2. It's no longer chapter 1. You are done with chapter 1. So I'm going to delete this one and write 2. Write me chapter 2 of the book titled Financial Management. Okay, so it will generate the content for chapter 2. I hope you're following. So this is a very easy way to create your book. It doesn't matter the kind of book you're creating. Just make sure your prompts are correct and you will get a quality book. Okay? So I'm just waiting for ChatGPT to generate the book, the chapter 2 of the book, so that I will copy it. It's still writing. I'm going to wait. So just follow up, follow the procedure, and you are good to go. All right? So far, I want to believe you are obtaining value from this video. Do well to subscribe. Do well to subscribe. Hit the notification button so that once we post another information like this, another content, you will be the first to know. All right. So we're going to copy chapter 2. Copy chapter 2. Then come back here. I hope this is the place. Okay. Come back here. Paste chapter 2. Okay. So basically, this is what you'll be doing for chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6, to the very last chapter. Okay? To the very last chapter. So once you are done generating all the contents for every chapter of the book, what next are you going to do? So what you should do at this point is come to your Google Docs. Now you want to format the book. Click here. Click on New Docs file. Click these 3 dotted lines here. All right. You click on Page Setup. Click Paper Size. Choose this A5. Choose this. Okay. Then you go back. So you are done with the setup. So once you are done with this, the next thing you want to do is to click here. Click here. So this is the font. Click this drop down menu. Select Times New Roman. Then click here for the font size. Size 12 to 14 is okay. Okay. I'll go for 12. Okay. I'll go for 12. So this is it. So at this point, the first thing that should be here is the title of your book. The title of this book says Financial Management. Financial Management. Okay. Now, if your book has subtitle is not a must, but let's assume that you have a subtitle. And the subtitle of this book says the key, let me just formulate a new subtitle. The key to financial intelligence. So let's just assume this is the subtitle. Okay? So financial management as a title, the key to financial intelligence is my subtitle. Then what next should be under it? The next thing that you should have under this is, you come down a little bit, the author's name. Now, for the author's name, you can use your real name or you can use a pen name. A pen name is a fictitious name or a publishing name that you use instead of your real name. So let's say your name is Richard Moore, for instance. You write it here. That's your name, your real name, your author name, your pen name, whatever. So let me just leave it at that. Now, what's next? After the title, the subtitle, and the author name, then the next thing you want to do is to make sure your cursor is positioned here. Click on this plus button. Click on this plus button. then click here, page break. Sorry, let me redo this. Place it below the author name, click this plus button, then page break. Okay, so once you do this, the next thing you want to do is to bring this center, all of this. I want this to be at the center. Click here, center. Okay, this is the way it should be. Okay, so the next thing you want to do at this point is you introduce the copyright statement. Okay, the copyright statement, let me get it. The copyright statement, let me just get it somewhere. So I want to get it here. This is the copyright statement. Okay, let me get the copyright statement somewhere. Okay, let me get it here. So it's always the same. You don't need to just get it like this. I'll copy it, copyright statement. Then I will get back to the book and paste it. So the copyright is the same. Okay, all I need to do now is say, all right, reserved, no part of this publication may be reproduced, distributed, and what have you. Now, the next thing I want to do now is this place written author's name. Of course, it has to be this same name. I will copy it. Then I'll paste it here. I'll paste it here. Now, beside it is the year of publication. So this is 2025. 2025. We're in the year 2025. Okay. Okay, so this is for the copyright. So the next thing I want to do is just to ensure that I center it. I place it at the center. Okay, just like this. Okay. So after this, what next am I expected to do? You have the title, the subtitle, the author's name, you have the copyright. What next? You bring down your cursor, then go back to this plus button, click page break. Okay, so once I click page break, I want to let me go to this alignment icon, click on this alignment, place it here. So the next thing I want to do now is to get the content, the table of contents. Okay, the table of contents, table of contents, table of contents, table of contents. Okay, table of contents. Now your book is taking shape. So table of contents, the first thing that you should have here, is introduction. Have introduction. Okay. After introduction, the next thing you have is the chapter 1 of the book. The chapter 1 of your book. Then let's say, let me go back to this so that you understand what I'm saying now. Let me use this as an example. Now, you see the way this book is structured. You can see this is introduction, this is chapter 1, this is chapter 2. So every information under chapter 1 should come under it. Every information under chapter 2 should come under it. Every information under chapter 3 should come under it. Just the same way you have in your book, your physical book that you see. So now what I want to do is that I will come back. Where is that? Okay. This is my chapter 1. I'm going to look for the outline. Let me get the outline for this book, because that's what I said earlier. That chapter, the outline will be a guiding principle. So this is my chapter 1. Chapter 1, I'm going to copy this, then get back here. Okay, this is what I have under chapter 1. Chapter 1, Introduction to Financial Management. I don't need this. Let me remove this. Okay. The next thing is, let me just make it like this. Okay. The next thing is what? Chapter 2. Chapter 2. So what do I have as chapter 2? I'll go back to the outline. This is my chapter 2. I'll just copy it. Just follow the same procedure for chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5. Okay. So this is my chapter 2. The same procedure for chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, but I'm going to stop here. Now, the next thing is you must ensure that all the chapters are captured in this table of content. So the next thing I want to do is to bring this table of contents, center it here, and probably come down a little bit. Then bring this down as well. Okay. So we have our introduction, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, to the very last chapter of the book. So let's assume we are done with this now. Then I will come back here, this plus button. Then you will click page break again. Okay? So once you click page break, the next thing you want to do is to bring in your introduction. Copy, bring it here, introduction. Now go, where do you have your introduction? I have introduction saved up somewhere before now. Let me get it. I have the introduction to financial management. Remember when we did this? So I'm going to copy this introduction, select all, copy. After you must have gone through and edited, then I will come back here and paste it. This is the introduction. Okay. Then once I do this, let me just delete this second one. Then I'll center this as well. Center. Okay. Now, the description will not come in here. So after this, the next thing that follows, looking at the table of content, introduction, chapter 1, the next thing that will follow is chapter 1 of the book. Okay. So I'm going to come down a little bit, click on this plus icon here, click on page break. Then I'll bring in chapter 1 of the book. Chapter 1 of the book. So, okay, this is introduction. I'm going to look for chapter 1 of the book, financial management chapters. Okay, this is chapter 1 of the book. This is chapter 1. So I'm going to copy chapter 1 from here. I'm going to copy chapter 1. I'm going to copy chapter 1. It's here already. All I need to do is just to go and copy it. Chapter 1, then copy. Then I'm coming back here to do what? To paste it. So I need to write chapter 1. What does chapter 1 say? Okay, let me paste it first so that I don't lose it. This is chapter 1. Okay. This is chapter 1. So I'm going to come back to this table of content. Chapter 1. This is what he talked about. Introduction to financial management. Okay. So we select this. Introduction to financial management. You must not copy everything under it. You must not. Okay. You can just select introduction to financial management like this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is to bring it here. Paste it here. Then I want it to be bold. Okay, let me do this first. Chapter 1, introduction to financial management. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is to bring it at the center by clicking here. Then you will click here. It's now at the center. Chapter 1, introduction to financial management. Of course, I don't need this. I'm going to remove it. I'm going to remove this. Okay. So you will take time to edit this book, format it properly, and do away with every other thing you don't need. So the same thing you will do for your chapter 2. You copy it, paste here. Now, let's say you are done pasting everything down to the last chapter. The next thing you will do now is to come here. Now, this is the title of the book, which says Financial Management. I may want to change the font style of this title. And personally, I normally use this. You click here, this A icon. I click here and I will choose Georgia. Okay, I will choose Georgia for it. Copyright, I will choose Georgia. It's not compulsory. You can leave it that way. Okay, I will still choose Georgia for this. Georgia for this. Okay. Georgia for this. Okay. Table of contents. I'll choose Georgia as well. This major headings. Hope you understand. Introduction. I will still choose Georgia. I'll choose Georgia again. What else? I'll come here. Chapter 1. Like this. I will choose Georgia. Chapter 2. I'll come to chapter 2. Okay, chapter 2 is not here. So I'll just for the heading. So once you are done, the next thing you want to do is now you may start from this point. Now this is introduction. It has to be bold. I'll make it bold. It has to be bold. Of course, all of this should be bold. All of this should be bold. Copyright should be bold. Now you are taking out time to format the book and make it look professional. Financial management. Okay, this should be bold. Okay. So you're not taking out time to make the book unique and make it presentable. This should be bold. Chapter 2. This should be bold. Okay. Chapter 3 and others. Introduction. This should be bold. Okay. Now, like I said before, every other thing that you don't need, something like this, I don't need it here. I have to remove it. So you look through the book and you remove all those elements that are not needed. Then chapter 2, all right, and chapter 1, it has to be bold. But apart from this, as you are going through definition and scope of financial management, okay, something like this should be bold as well. Then you start going through the scope of financial management extend across domains, including, I can make this bold. So these are critical points. Okay, now this, I can remove this. Okay, you can use this kind of icon, something like this. Then you come down here, you can remove this, use something like this. Then you don't really need this, you remove. So you're taking out time to format this, your book now. Okay, corporate finance, I can use something like this. You see now, I can do this as well. So you take out time to format the book. I also do the same thing here. So you don't necessarily need to be in a haste. Get it right. The same thing here. I hope you understand what I'm saying now. So as you are going down, you look out for those things that should be in block letters. So something like this, importance in business and personal finance, this should be bold. Then I don't have to leave this. I have to delete it. I have to delete this. So importance. So you take out time to go through your book. You are not formatting the book. From the very first part, which is your title, the subtitle, the author name, to the very last part of the book. And of course, you must read it. Okay? So let's assume you are done. The next thing you want to do now is, let's say you want to help your audience such that if they want to locate any chapter of your book, they don't really need to start scrolling like this. So what you want to do is this. For this chapter 1 now, see what I'm going to do. I will highlight chapter 1. If I highlight it, I will click this A icon, click on it like this. Then you will go to this normal text, click normal text. You can select anyone. It could be heading 1, heading 2. You can use heading 2 to run through all the chapters. Now, I select heading 2 like this. If I select heading 2 like this, you see it has changed. The interface has changed now. Okay, I will close it. Then the next thing I want to do is I will come to this chapter 1 in the table of content, highlight it like this. Then I will click here, this icon again. Or rather, I will click here, this plus icon. Click here. Then I will click on link. Once you click link, you click here, headings, select chapter 1. Once you select chapter 1, you click here. You see it has changed. The color has changed. So the moment the reader gets to this your book, someone wants to read this book, and the person doesn't really want to read other chapters. Let's say the person wants to start with chapter 5 of your book. Okay, the person doesn't necessarily need to start scrolling like this to look for chapter. So all the person needs to do is to click here, and the person will be taken to that place. So let me show you what I mean viewing. So once I click chapter 1, you see it has taken me straight to chapter 1. I did not have to scroll down and start looking for chapter 1. So I'll do it again. Click chapter 1. It will take me straight to chapter 1. So follow the same thing. If chapter 2 is not here, if chapter 2, okay, we don't have chapter 2 here. So the same thing you will do for chapter 2, highlight this. Let's say this is chapter 2. You highlight it like we have done before. Once you highlight it, okay, let me go back. I think I clicked something. Okay, so once I click this chapter, let's assume this is chapter 2. I'll still do the same thing. Click here, go to this point where you have this heading 2, click here. You can still select the heading 2 again for chapter 2. You can still select the heading 2 for chapter 3. Just the same process, and you are good to go. Come back here. Okay, let me quickly do this. So let me introduce chapter 2. I'll click this plus button, page break. Then let me get my chapter 2. Let me just type chapter 2. What does chapter 2 say? This is chapter 2. Financial statements analysis. Let me copy it. Should be here. Now let me get the chapter 2. Where's the chapter 2? Chapter 2. This is my chapter 2. I hope. Okay, so this is my chapter 2. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to copy chapter 2. Okay, I don't want this conclusion here. Okay, you can introduce it to your own. Copy, and let me get to this place. So I'm going to paste it here. I just want to explain something. This is my chapter 2. Just the same way I did before now. So what is the next thing? I'll make this bold, capital letter all through. Okay, then center, I highlight it, click here, the second one, then I bring it down a little bit. Okay, so I will change this to Georgia. Okay, so I will highlight this only chapter 2 here, click here, this icon, then you can see normal text. This is normal text. You click by the drop down menu beside it, then I'll still select heading 2, just like I did with chapter 1. Now that I've done this, of course you need to come here, still make this one bold, and others that you need to align properly. So I will now come back here. This is chapter 2. I will highlight it, click this plus icon like I did before, click link, headings. I will select chapter 2, no longer chapter 1. Click here. It has changed. You see now. So this is what you will do with other chapters. So once you are done with all of this, formatting your book, making sure that everything is in order, okay? So you look through. Now look at this. You can see that this copyright is very close to this. So all you need to do is just bring it down a little bit. Let me bring it down a little bit. It's part of the formatting. Then you come here. Okay, this one is okay. In this introduction, you can bring it down a little bit. You can bring it down a little bit. Then you go to chapter 1. Okay, it's all right. Then you go to chapter 2. Okay, it's okay. So if it's very close, you can just bring it down a little bit. So these are the things you do while formatting your book. You take out time to format the book, do away with the things that are not really needed, and make sure your book is presentable, make sure your book is top-notch. Now, once you are done with all of this, now I want to save this book. Let's say you intend publishing this book as a digital ebook. Let's say in Amazon KDP, for instance. What you want to do now is you will still come here, click these three dotted lines, click on that three dotted lines. So the next thing, but before you do this one, we have to follow the normal procedure so that we don't get it mixed up. So the next thing I want you to do at this point, before you do that three dotted lines, the next thing I want you to do is shake and be sure. You don't have to hurry. Shake and be sure that everything is very okay. The chapter 1, chapter 2, the write-up, everything, is it properly aligned? Is there any adjustment I need to make before I save this book and before I publish it? So let's say you are done with all of that. You click this plus button. Once you click this plus button, you click page number. This is page number. You select the third one from, this is the first one, this is the second one, this is the third one. So you select this third one. Okay? You select this third one. So once you do this, it will tell you the number of pages you have in your book. Now, I want to point out something. You can see that while shaking the number of my book, I discovered that this place is empty. There's nothing here. Sometimes it happens. It's empty. And if you leave it like this, it will reflect in your book. If you publish it, it will still be in this manner. So what do? You have to remove this. You click inside that box, click the delete icon. This is delete. Keep on clicking until that particular place is no longer empty, until it enters into the previous chapter. Okay? So you can see it is no longer empty. But you have to shake through and be sure you don't have such a thing again. If you see it, you remove it. No, this is okay because this is the last chapter. But you can still do it here. You click here, bring this thing here. Let me click inside this box. Okay, so this is okay now. So be sure you don't have any empty space here. If you have, make sure you shake it very well and be sure you don't have any empty space. Be sure you don't have before you save. So let's say you want to save this book as your digital, because you can publish a book either as digital ebook or a print version. I'm using Amazon KDP as a case study here. So let's say you want to save this book as ebook. What do you do now? You click on these three dotted lines, click here, then you will click share and export. Okay, let me do it again. Share and export. Then you click on save as. Save as what? Web page for your ebook. Web page. I click OK. I'll click OK. So once I get to this point, you click here, this download icon like this, and now wait for it. Okay, let me redo this. Okay, so once you get to this point, you click on this download icon. Once you click on this download icon, Then let me also remind you that you need to download WPS. But if you have it, you are good to go. The moment you click on it, it will automatically take you to your WPS. And that is it. You now have your book ready. Okay? You now have your book ready. But let's assume also, let me go back, that you want to save this book as a print version. You want to publish it as a print version, paperback. How are you going to save it? You click on these three dotted lines. You click on, okay. Okay, share and export. Save as. Save as what? PDF. You are not saving as web page again because you want this book to be published as a print version. Okay, so I will click on PDF. Okay, it's saving. Okay. So this is the PDF format. As you can see, this is the PDF format. You see now. So I want to believe you found this video very interesting. If you did, kindly get to the notification, get to the subscription button and the subscribe. Do well to subscribe, do well to share, and do well to let others know that there is an information here that they must have to tap into. Okay? And also be sure to keep yourself updated so that whenever we post any interesting video like this, you'll be the first to know. So I want to believe you have obtained value. See you in the next one.